July 31st, 2015. She's been with the town for very, many, many years, I want to say. She was deputy town clerk at one point. She's worked with Doris as assistant to Doris for many years. And I will definitely miss her. She's been a big help. She helps us payroll every week. And, she's would like to have a little free time, we understand. So we will miss her. And I'd like to do some kind of celebration for her early next month when Doris is back, because Doris is on vacation, so I didn't want to do it when Doris is still out of town.
I will second that with regret. I've enjoyed working with Carol.
Yes.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Rosendale,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
I just want to say she'll be sorely missed and abstain.
Supervisor Witt,
And I, as I said before, I will miss her also, but, I tried to vote yes. I tried to vote no, but she wouldn't let me. I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation for Louis Mastro from the Environmental Commission. Sorry to see Louis go. He wanted to be there, but he had a lot of conflicts with his job, so it became a situation where it was difficult for him to attend meetings. So,
I'll second both that and the sentiment the town relies on residents to volunteer to help us do what needs to be done. Sometimes the job doesn't allow for it. We've got that. We'll also be looking for somebody to fill the seat.
so let's put that out there that we're looking for someone for the Environmental Commission.
roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Rosendale,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
He will be sorely missed, especially with all his knowledge from his driving job. Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation for Brianna Ligon for economic development, as we said before. She will be missed also, but Brianna will not be able to do it anymore. She can get out of the boundary rules as well.
I'll second that motion.
roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
With regret, yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Rosendale,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
No. No.
okay, Supervisor Walsh.
Yeah. Okay, the next one I'm gonna save for after. I'd like to make a motion to hire Tyler Corcoran for week crew at $8.75 per hour.
I'll second.
Can you do all of them together?
No, they're different, so,
Okay.
sorry.
We'll run through them quick.
Yeah.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Rosendale,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisor Witt,
Yes. Motion to hire Elijah Gallagher for week crew at $8.75 per hour.
I'll second.
roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Rosendale,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisor Witt,
Yes. Motion to hire Brandon Stevens for week crew at $9 per hour.
Second that.
roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes, and thanks to them all for clearing weeds.
Tough job.
It is a tough job.
Everybody wants it.
Yes.
Councilman Rosendale,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes.
Supervisor Witt,
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to accept the resignation of Christopher Himnick. I don't know if it's pronounced.
Hyman.
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 Who's right?
Effective 7/19.
He's out there. Hey. I'll second with regret.
Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes.
Councilwoman Metzger,
Yes.
Councilman Rosendale,
Yes.
Councilman Ryan,
Yes, and I want to thank him for his service to the town of Rosendale.
Supervisor Walsh,
Yes, and I would also like to thank them for their service as well. The next three we'll do after executive session. We have a speaker here Josh, by Kim is here again.
Hi.
The August Festival.
August Art Festival. Final countdown of the month.
Yeah.
We have the poster now and then we have a final schedule. This is actually for you, Nancy. I have it almost everything in there for a moment through
Okay.
the files that you made. Poster, you can share with your.
I got it, I had a busy afternoon, I have to attend tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Is this an updated or is it?
Yes,
Look
there
how
is an
beau-
update.
Look how beautiful it is.
That's the poster for the upcoming festival.
That's a beautiful, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
And
It's
well
shot
done.
on the,
Really detailed.
So
the
good.
rail trail.
Wow.
Nice.
So,
I was wondering if I could put one up actually on the,
talk to the town clerk.
yeah? Okay. So here's some updates. So I got in touch with Fire Marshal and gave him a letter. He, is okay with it. Chief Soul was on
Is it
vacation.
possible she could speak over
So-
here?
Oh, okay.
Here.
So, no, I can,
Yeah.
yeah, I just
Thank you.
basically this way. So Chief Soul, is on vacation, so I got to speak to, Sergeant Sheffrick. And he took care, he took a look at the plans and he's fine with the plans. And I think he sent you the letter directly.
Looking for a correspondence.
It is. Or no, it was separate in a little packet behind it.
Oh, it's behind it, yeah.
So, Mandy, you have the check and also the certificate of insurance and the letter from the Walker Valley Land Trust and the private property. And the only one I couldn't get is letter from the
Highway.
Williams Lake
Oh, Williams Lake, okay.
because he's on vacation. So
Is Tim, you were trying to get?
yes, and he's aware of it. He's gonna get back to him when he's back, but he's already agreed verbally that he's fine with the installation on his property and their property. So I just need to get a letter and give it to Mandy. And I did speak to Dave Corrigan at DOT, and I explained to him that what our plan is to possibly cross the road on the main street using the crosswalk. He had no problem. He said I did not need to apply for any.
I didn't think you would.
Yes, he said if you have a huge group of people, that I should just reach out to the police department and ask for their help.
Yep.
But I don't see that happening because to make things a little simpler, we divided into 3 events so that people could drive to each event that, I give enough time. So it starts at 3 p.m. at Women's Studio Workshop. If people want to join us for a little walk, that'll last about an hour, hour and a half. And then the theater event starts at 5 o'clock. And after that, at Bell Tower, just walking down to 2 doors down to the Bell Tower.
Did you run that by Sergeant Shaffer just so he knows?
Yes, he knows. He knows. I sent everyone all the site plans for the whole event. And I also got the letter you received from Kim, I can't pronounce it, Dufresne. He's from the Ulster County Public Works. And I applied and we got an approval and it's included in the application.
For which area?
For Binnewater Road, no, not Binnewater Road, it's the Breezy Hill Road,
Okay.
connecting the Walkill Valley Rail Trail to
to cross
Woodstock
there.
Workshop,
Yes,
exactly,
I see.
to cross there. And just in case, I did get permission to use the Cater Avenue. Cater Avenue, passing the bridge. But I don't think that in the beginning of the event, again, we cut out that part where we're gonna walk all the way down just because it's summer and it might be too hot. So I don't think that we're gonna need to cross that road, but just in case, it's in the works. We have the permission to do that. So, as you can see, it's a long schedule, so, please review and let me know if you have any questions or,
I should mention in my report that the rec commission did approve.
oh, that's right, Rec Commission did approve. We have 3 events happening there, outdoor video screenings, all 3 times, and also at the youth center for a workshop with cave dogs. So that's all approved and the application is complete, and I spoke to Tara today.
Did you
So-
find out about the property by the before we go on, for the projection?
Oh, the projection, that was so interesting because nobody knows who owns, it's actually the one that's in question. It's a property along the water that I showed you the picture of, next to the church. And I went to the assessor's office and I spoke to Dave, the fire marshal, and he showed me the map, and no one knows who owns it.
Well, that is a town road that
Yeah.
goes down to the park, but I thought we had asked you to talk to Army Corps of Engineers because the place that you were identifying was part of the flood control area.
Oh, I see. I
So
thought
it was, I think you're on the town, you're on town property that goes, it's a town road that goes to the park, at Hardenberg Park, under the bridge there.
yeah,
under
it's
the
like this.
trestle.
It's a strip, like
Yeah.
just
Right.
the thing.
Right.
Oh, that's where I'm
It is.
supposed to go.
But
I thought we were
Army
supposed to
Corps,
find out who owns
you know,
it
if you're gonna
first.
do anything that's like putting anything on the area that's the flood control area, that's just something that either DEC or Army Corps is in charge of, and we don't have the authority to
Could,
approve that.
could they put their projection system off on that road?
I think as long as they didn't,
But it's not an installation you're looking to do there, right?
Well, it's a light installation. It's just
how long would
solar
it be there?
lights.
How long would it be there?
How long would it be? It would just be the August 7th through 20th.
Right, so
Oh, that's right.
I'm not saying it shouldn't affect anything, but I don't think we can say that she can install something on an area that's part of our flood control.
We do have,
But you could.
I have a contact person. for
I
Army
mean,
Corps
yeah, I
that
mean, we have people that you could call.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I mean, I would rather get
But
the.
if it was installed on town property, you can.
I mean, if she moved it up to the road, to the park area, then it would not be a problem.
But you
Well-
want it on the slope.
Yeah, on the slope down, but it's not nowhere near the rocks. It's just
I will
off the
tell
road.
you that they move slow, so my concern is that they wouldn't get back to you in time for the project.
Okay,
That's
I
what-
mean, I
That's
will
what I'm
keep.
worried about. you know.
I'll keep trying. I mean,
Isn't the church owned down to
No.
Army Corps? No, they don't, it's broke up.
Well, the
It's
town
the town's,
owns
it's
it.
a town road.
It's
It's a town.
Yeah, but on the opposite of town road, you have a property, then you have the Army Corps of
Well,
Engineers.
a good, yeah, but on this side, the church, and then
Yeah.
it's town, and then you get to the park, it's a town road, and it gets to the town park, which is Hardenberg Park.
Right.
And then as you go over, you get into the area that the Army Corps oversees, and it's part of the flood control. That slope is part of the flood control.
They
The whole
oversee it, but
slope.
the town.
No, I probably, and we really don't have
The
to
only
say
other
on this.
person that we could talk to about that is Bob Gallagher, because the highway department is given the responsibility of maintenance of that
I
space.
finally talked to Bob today too. He was very busy.
Yeah, so I would say maybe give Bob a call tomorrow.
Okay.
And he's actually a good person. If they say it's gotta be Army Corps or something, he has all those contacts, and he might be
Right.
someone to kind of be a bridge for you.
Okay, great. I'll
But,
look
you
into
know.
that. And I think, if it doesn't work out, she has a lot of other locations that she could work with, so.
You know what, I'll simplify it, I'll contact Bob tomorrow, because I have another issue to discuss with him.
Okay.
And I'll ask him about the solar lights, and then as soon as he lets me know, I'll get right back with you, since I have your number
But
now.
she has to talk to Bob too, because she has to ask him for whatever she needs, because we're gonna make a recommendation. It's good if you could, explain what was talked about at the meeting, but I would still like you to talk to Bob
Yeah,
directly.
okay, absolutely.
Because it's going to be your responsibility to get us back the paperwork, because I'm gonna make a recommendation that we give you a conditional approval.
Okay.
So that you can go ahead, you got your approval, you just have a couple of conditions. One would be you get something from
Right.
Bob. And I
Right.
think originally Bob already said, it's not me, go to DOT or whatever, right?
Well,
But
no,
now-
Bob actually hasn't said anything about that. Actually, I thought I had to go to the assessor's office to find out who owns that piece of land, so I haven't talked to Bob about it at
Okay.
all. He wasn't here, actually, I brought up that
He
issue
was
the
on
second
vacation or
time.
something, yeah. All right,
So I will call him again.
If Bob,
I'm
You
gonna
have
step
this-
out, you talk
I will,
directly to him, and
okay.
I'm here if you need assistance.
Okay, thank you.
I'd rather see him or talk to Bob or
Sounds
something.
good.
So I'd like to make a conditional approval.
Okay, I actually have one more
Sure,
thing
go
that
ahead, sorry.
I was trying to get the spot in front of the post office parking lot, and that's the part that I didn't think I had any problem getting approval, but she she declined it yesterday. She went away for vacation, came back and told me that
Yeah,
it's
I'm not surprised.
available.
They're
You're not?
very-
Oh, I thought.
Well, they don't usually do those things.
Oh,
So
okay.
did you have another option on Main Street?
Another option was talk to Amy Trumpeter and see if we can park in front of her garage, so I will have to get in touch with
That
her
was for
tomorrow.
the vehicle.
Exactly,
show?
it was
Yeah.
a teardrop theater, and we always have the option to use that at the end of Main Street, you know, where there's
Yeah.
a stage.
You know.
But the artist would really love to be somewhere in the middle of Main
Oh, yeah.
Street so that we can grab people, you know, from.
And I would say you could ask the fire department, but they don't like anything in front of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them
Yeah.
to move their truck so
Yeah.
that we could watch a
Wait,
movie.
wait.
What about
So-
Bill Brooks's?
What about Rob Parente?
Either of them, Bill Brooks.
Bill Brooks and Rob
Oh,
Parente?
Bill Brooks, I should ask him. Oh, by the way, that's one of the additions in the schedule. He'll be doing a history walk
I saw that, that's
on
very
cool.
the Wallkill
Oh,
Valley
they'll give you
Ranch.
the green light, so you check with Bill Brooks.
Yeah, maybe I'll ask Bill Brooks.
The only other thing I can think of is there's a little park that belongs to the county, that we use a lot for the street festivals, where the stage is, and when you first enter Main Street from Peter.
Oh, yeah, we had discussed
Yeah,
that.
that's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, but that's what I'm talking about, is that it's already approved, so worst case, that's the spot we'll choose, but I wanna
Oh, okay.
just, try a little bit longer to get a
Is
better
that-
spot on
Yeah,
Main
because
Street.
that place, you could park it and it's not gonna, people can mill about, you don't have to worry about traffic.
Exactly.
I thought you were talking about the.
On the other end, no,
No, I
I
thought
mean,
you were talking about the park, back by the parking lot, where the pavilion is. That's what you
oh,
said.
no,
Oh,
that's
okay.
for a different one, this is
Oh,
for
okay.
another event. There are 3 events happening there, and this
I
is a
see.
completely different event.
All right.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
That's it, those are the only 2 things really left that I need to give to Mandy, but everything else has been approved, so.
I'm looking at my packet, and I don't see the letters. Do you guys have letters in your?
Yeah, I only
seen
made, copies for, Mandy.
Oh, that's why you have them, Andy.
Oh, you know, I have Dave's.
You have Dave's?
Yep,
Oh,
Maybe I'm looking at.
and
the
then
wrong
I
thing.
have Scott, the Sergeant Shoppers also.
Oh, okay, good.
I have
Yeah.
Dave's.
Yeah, I had these too. And,
I didn't feel that was mine.
Yeah, I just don't know why I'm having trouble finding it. Okay.
It was
Do you
behind
do
the
have it?
correspondence, like behind the,
And then the other letters mentioned you have in the packet you just received.
yeah.
I don't have it in my. All right. So we have Dave and we have this police. And we possibly need something from highway or.
for the
For the light show.
light show, okay, I'll
All
ask
right,
him
so I'd
tomorrow.
like to make a motion for the August Art Festival approval, conditioned on getting approval from whichever agency is necessary,
Okay.
I'll say, to do the light show on the slope by Hardenberg Park in the flood control area. I think other than that, I don't know if we should make a condition on your approval for where you're gonna put your vehicle show, because the movie show.
conditional on all proper approval.
Yeah, I mean, if I need proper approval, I will get a letter and make sure that I
Yeah,
give it
so
to
let's
Mandy and let you know.
just stay in contact with Mandy, that you get
I
all
will.
those other letters in before the festival starts.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Roll vote, Councilman Hughes,
Yes, with gratitude.
Councilman Metzger,
Yeah, can't wait.
Councilman Krasinski.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I hope you all come. And G, you're coming to give the talk.
Yes, and I think it'll be wonderful for us.
Thank you. Supervisor Wolf?
Yes. Next we have a speaker, Trees Courtney Strong, is here to talk to us about LED street lighting project, and I'm sure Jen has some input on that too. Hi,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I am Pat Courtney Strong, and I work under contract to NYSERDA, the State Energy Authority, and I have for about a dozen years. And so my job includes a lot of public outreach, and so this past winter and spring, there were a number of meetings held by municipalities coming together, municipal representatives, it's kind of an ad hoc group, to discuss the way forward in terms of converting to LED streetlights. A lot of interest out there, but we're in a particular situation where if a municipality doesn't own its streetlights, the path to conversion is somewhat complicated. So we had a number of good meetings, and the timing was such that we learned that a particular NYSERDA grant opportunity coming out for the third year in a row would address our interest if we wanted to pursue it, and that's the Cleaner, Greener Communities grant opportunity. And it is for larger projects, and they have to have a direct impact on climate mitigation. They have to do something real and tangible. It can't be just, education. One of the projects that you may have read about that came under the Cleaner, Greener Communities umbrella is the rail trail project in Kingston, which was going to happen anyway, but it now has a nice chunk of NYSERDA funding with it because of the impact of taking cars off the road for recreation. So that's a typical project. And we learned that they would certainly entertain the idea of an aggregation of municipalities that wanted to come together, solve some of these issues around moving toward LED streetlights, and then use the power of the group to get affordable LED lights. So we put together a team that is pursuing this opportunity. The deadline for this grant is July 31st, so we're getting a little anxious about getting to the finish line. But the reason I'm here is to ask the town of Rosendale to consider doing a letter of support. We're not asking for any sort of financial contribution or anything of the kind, but merely to endorse the idea, and then that would give us the opportunity to go forth and do the activities we anticipate under the grant on behalf of a group of municipalities. And that group can grow over time, it's not limited to the original signers. So I just wanted to tell you what some of the principal goals of the project are, and I would be happy to take any of your questions. So the team that's coming together to lead this on behalf of the municipalities is Citizens for Local Power, you certainly know Jen. It is Courtney Strong, Inc., which is my company that has been a NYSERDA contractor for 12 years. And then Abundant Efficiency, which is a Westchester organization that has a similar profile to our organization in that it works on energy efficiency and renewable energy issues and empowering local communities to move in that direction. So some of the main goals of what we want to do, if we're successful in attracting this NYSERDA funding, is we want to confirm the options that municipalities have. There's a couple of main ones, but it can be confusing for towns and cities to understand. There's leasing to own, there's outright purchase of the lights, and then there's using a utility tariff. So it happens that in Central Hudson territory, a tariff is under consideration now. The Public Service Commission is looking at the tariff that was introduced by Central Hudson, and that is going to be factored into our work. Whatever they come out with, we're going to look at it, and we want to just analyze it and give our municipalities the benefit of the analysis so that whatever road they choose, they can make the most economical decision for their community. There's also been New York State legislation passed on this spring, and so we're going to be monitoring that and seeing how our communities can fit into that. The legislation would direct the Public Service Commission essentially to make it easier for towns and cities to acquire their lights. But these things aren't imminent, and we know a lot of communities are just right on the cusp of wanting and needing to do something because they have aging lights. So we want to move forward with this now, even though there's a lot of other activities going on with legislation and tariffs and all these things. We want to take advantage of some of the great work that's been done down in Westchester County, where typically in the Con Ed cities and towns, they already own the lights, but they've developed RFPs, they've developed relationships with third parties that want to finance these projects. We want to take advantage of that and customize that good work that's already been done to make it more relevant for our candidates up here, which have a different profile. We want to form an intermunicipal agreement that will allow the municipalities to do this work, confident that they're not getting into any sort of conflicts. And we'll seek the appropriate legal counsel on that. And then we want to provide technical assistance to individual municipalities as they move forward, whatever choice they make in terms of buying or going with the tariff or leasing. We want to promote local manufacturing. This is a really big part of what we're interested in doing. Celix in Highland has been following this activity, is very interested, and then we're aware of luminaire manufacturers in the Newburgh area that would be very happy to step forward and put in bids. So we want to encourage that, and some of those companies want to do demonstration projects. So we don't want to get bogged down, but on the other hand, we need to learn lots of things to make sure that our cities and towns are confident with these choices. So we're looking at demonstration projects. And then we want to develop a steering committee of the municipal leaders that join us so that they can vet proposals and help us make decisions. So that's the broad outlines of what we want to do. The application goes in July, and then we expect not to really hear anything until probably Thanksgiving time frame. And then the work would really begin in the new year and probably go on for a 2-year period. So that is it. We already have, very happily, about 7 towns that are actively supporting us with documented letters of support, and then about another half dozen that tell us, the letter's in the mail. So just to fill you in, they are New Paltz, Saugerties, and Woodstock, Fishkill and Wappingers Falls, Shawangum, and Platteville. Those are the early ones out of the gate for us. But we have, a big city in our corner looking at it too, and a lot of different towns. These 7 happen to be in Dutchess and Ulster, but we are certainly talking about bringing in towns and villages in NYSEG territory, and even possibly, if they want the help, in ONR territory. So I'd be happy to take any questions. What I'm hoping for is a letter of support. We did provide a template, and we'd ideally like to get it back in, a week to 10 days, so we can begin to nail this down. That, I think, is the letter.
This is my concern.
Yep.
I remember we talked about this months ago, and out of those 7 towns that you mentioned, we're not even in that. We're not in that group. Our population is 6,500, and I know there was a lot of pending costs in the future for this that had never got answered, and it was a while back. So with that being said, I would hate, me personally, to support something that's going to cost our residents later on, even though it's only in support of, to be in support of, and then go back and say, well, it's not really going to fit the scheme of plans for this town because of our demographics and that. Because I know we had spoke, and Jen had a lot of information, but the future cost on having these LED lights, and it's July 8th, and to have an answer by July 31st, July 30th, it's kind of a short time to get all the information that I would need to make a reasonable decision.
What are some of the future costs you're anticipating?
I don't know. There was costs that would be involved. There was questions on who was going to pick up this, who was going to pick up that, and we had a lengthy discussion, and then it was done, never to be heard of again. In Westchester, I mean, it's hard for us to compete or compare against Westchester. I mean, like I said, we have a population of roughly 6,500, where their budget and their amount of people and the street lighting, I'm sure that it can be more financially.
Well, we had a webinar yesterday with the Village of Dobbs Ferry participating, and they talked about their experience. I think, their capital outlay was under $200,000, but the savings were so compelling over time, and the lack of maintenance that is typically required for LEDs was persuasive to them. So, there's all kinds of.
Is there any place I could go to read about this and see it?
Absolutely.
Input on the websites of other towns and stuff like that?
Yes, what I would like to start with is we